Hello and welcome to this edition of the LSAT Report. Today I'm going to talk about Valentine's Day and how you can make this one and why it's important you make this one really good. So let's see about that. Lately, all I've been posting on is politics, and I like to think that I've put effort and research into those things so I can actually present myself as being knowledgeable enough to actually come out with information you might not know. One thing I'm really good at, though, is making my wife feel special. And so I'm going to share with you a foolproof method that you can have a great Valentine's Day. If you're like me, most guys, you're like, oh, man, Valentine's Day, man, that's just contrived to say. One day that I love my wife. I love my wife every day. And you've said it, but guess what? It doesn't matter because Valentine's Day exists. She knows about it. So you may as well embrace it. So I'm going to have a clue on how you can make that happen, how you can make it not seem so difficult, take away your reasons for procrastination, and maybe even have you get a little excited about it. How would that be? So anyway, we're going to break down right into it. The first thing that you're going to need to do is have a plan. Make a plan. Anything, it doesn't matter. Listen, your wife, significant other, whatever it is, they know how much money you have. And if you do something way far out, they're going to look at it and say, oh, God, it might be nice, but it isn't going to put them at ease. They're not going to be able to relax, so you're going to want to stay in your budget. Now, if you could put that Lexus out in the driveway with a huge bow on it or whatever, do it. That would be awesome. Make this thing spectacular. But I'm going to have everybody be able to make it spectacular. So have a plan, anything, any kind of plan. So for instance, this year, it's middle of the week. We have kids going out on a big date. It just doesn't really fit in the cards. It's just going to be difficult. And so what we're going to do is we're going to drop the kids off at their activities. And she and I are going to go have some wine by ourselves and just enjoy ourselves for a couple hours. It's going to be fantastic. I can't wait. Number two, I know that's going to happen, and so does she. Number two, the important thing is tell her about it. I'm a big guy about surprises. I always want to feel like a surprise. But I think that's partially because I like surprises. It doesn't necessarily mean she likes surprises. And especially in the area of if you're going to do something. So you might want to let her know. And there's a couple reasons for that. And I heard something on John Tesh, Intelligence for Your Life on the radio, where he was talking about this specific thing about you want to really impress her. Surprises might not be the way to go. The best thing to do might be able to tell her what it is. And the reasons behind that is, guys, in case you didn't know this, women want to know that you're thinking about them even though they're not around. Okay? Because, I mean, let's be honest. We don't always think about them 100% of the time. And it'd be hard to get anything done if we did. It's kind of how we're designed. We're wired that way. But if you put a little thought into something and let them know about it, if you've never witnessed it, you will be surprised. If you have witnessed it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Sometimes we just need a little reminder. So tell her about it. And farther on that, and the reason is that you never, I'm going to make this so that you can sidestep some of the mistakes you've made in the past and hopefully have great ones from here on out. The last thing that you want to do is say, hey, honey, grab your purse. We're going out. And she's sitting around in her house and she's not ready to go out. She doesn't want to go out feeling like she doesn't look her best. How many weddings do you know that are surprise weddings? Nope. None. Zero. All those things are planned, and many times for like a year. And in the case of my daughter, she's probably been planning this thing out since she was a little tiny girl. So let's play with the rules that are there. Don't try to monkey with it. Give her some heads up. She's going to appreciate you. Trust me. If having a surprise is so important, then buy her a little gift and surprise her in the event, whatever it might be. If you're going out, if you're going to be at home, you can still surprise her. Have flowers and a card you've written in. If she says she doesn't like flowers, buy them anyway. If nothing else, they look good. Now, if she's allergic to them, find ones that she's not allergic to. If you don't know what kind of flowers she likes, first of all, that should be one of your first questions. Secondly, find one of her friends and ask them. They should know. So, there's a few things you need to know about the way that the dynamics of how people work. People like to be honored. And in the case of guys, we like to be respected. Women like to be cherished. And so, in those things, you're going to tap into that. By planning something, she's going to know that you put thought into it, that you're taking her into account, that she's a big part of your life. And the side part of that is you get to get a little bit of honor out of this as well. It works both ways. If you give, you get. So nothing's better than when your woman can take this event and start telling her friends about it prior to. She has some time. The story gets built up. And she's going to talk you up. You're going to look like the king. You're going to be a hero. And if those other women, they'll start sharing stories if they've got them. Otherwise, they're going to be saying, man, what's wrong with my man? Step it up, fellas. One thing is better than when she's telling her friends about it, is those private moments. And I'm not talking about those kind of private moments. This is rated G, but the moments when she looks back at you and in her eyes you can see she recognizes why she decided to be with you in the first place. That's a good thing. You want to be reminded of those things. So the psychology of this thing is really important, but it's more important is how can I get myself thinking about this in the proper way? And then therefore give that information to you. And so, like in my political stuff, I do research. In this, I did research as well, and part of that research was talking to my wife prior to doing this so that I didn't come across looking like an ass, like I didn't know what I was talking about. I give good gifts. I'm thoughtful about those things. And that's why I've been successful. I just want to pass along maybe some things that have been successful for me in the past. So what I did a few years ago, because I didn't want this to be sneaking up on me, I didn't want to be lame, I wanted to do it well, and so I changed it into a competition inside of myself, and I also started throwing it out there, and what I call it is the best husband in the whole wide world competition. And here's the deal, is if you decide that you're going to get involved, you may not be the champion, but you're going to win. The opposite of that is, if you don't, you will really, really lose. And here's the reason for that, is tapping into another thing I know about women. They like to talk. They like to share things. And so when I'm done making this video, the natural thing for me to do would be to post this. And I'm going to do that. And that's why you're seeing this right now. And trust me, this thing's going to get shared by my wife to the other women, by those women to other women, and if everything goes right, this thing goes viral. Now, you might be looking at me and saying, dude, you're a real dick. And what I'm going to tell you is there is no one that's taken a bigger risk with this thing than me right now. And the reason is I actually went and asked my wife, do I have this right? Do I have this right? Do I have my information right? And she verified that I indeed did. And so if I don't perform from this day forward, I am screwed, okay? So you're probably saying, well, that might be true, but why are you doing this? My reasons for it are simple. Number one, why wouldn't you do it? Number two, you can't escape Valentine's Day. Well, you can't escape Halloween either, but this is Valentine's Day. And real men are going to recognize what I'm saying here, and they're going to want to do it because they love their wives. They like their wives. They want to do nice things for their wives. And so if they can look at it in a different way and see it as a competition, well, game on. I've been bested by one guy I give good gifts, like I said. I'm thoughtful. I pride myself on this. But man, I got outdone one year when a guy I know by the name of Glenn, his wife had saved all of her father's ties, and she had a whole garbage bag full of these things. And her dad passed away, and so that same year, he took all those ties without telling her, and he had a quilt made of these things. And he videoed her when she opened these things up and saw this quilt that he had gone, and man, I was blown away and knew that he was a better man. Now, that didn't stop me. It made me step up my game, and that's what I'm hoping happens here. And the reason for that is the world needs a whole bunch of happy wives, happy husbands, who can be incredible parents, who can have happy kids, who can go out and be the kind of kids that other people truthfully say they want to be around and are grateful when they walk in the door. All that starts. And I'm not saying that after years of neglect that this is going to solve all your problems, but it will get you out of the doghouse if you listen to me. So take some advice from a guy who knows. So, laying it out again. Make a plan. Have a plan. Tell her about it. Have a surprise if you want to, but have flowers and a card that you've written in. You can't fail. Consider this self-help for guys. And please share after Valentine's Day all your videos, all your stories, the comments. I want to see this thing filled up. And hopefully we get to find out who's going to knock me off the top of being the best husband in the whole wide world.